Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Ellen's Tips for iOS. I'm wondering, how concerned are you about your security and privacy on your Apple device, your iPhone or your iPad? If you aren't, you probably should be, but Apple does a really good job of keeping your security and privacy intact. With every new update or iOS release, Apple adds features that secure and protect your iPhone and iPad. In iOS 14, there are several new features that make downloading this update well worth it. In this video walkthrough, I'll highlight the features that I find most useful and easy to check. I'll be demonstrating it on an iPhone, but it applies to an iPad as well. So let's get started. So let's talk about the new recording indicator that Apple has put in place. As you can see in the image on the screen, if an app has access to the camera or microphone, you're going to see a small dot appear in the status bar above the Wi-Fi signal. The dot will be green if the app is accessing the camera and orange if it's accessing the microphone. Immediately after closing the app, if you open up the control center, you will see the name of the app that you had been accessing by the camera or microphone. So the recording indicator that Apple has put in place prevents your microphone and your camera from being used without your permission. So let's talk about apps that track you across various websites. Well, now in iOS 14, they have to ask permission to do so. And apps that use these features will have a pop-up menu asking you to enable tracking. And most people will not want to allow an app to track them. And so Apple states that apps granted permission to track you can collect data such as your device ID, your name, your email, and more. And this data is often used for ad targeting or shared with data brokers, linking it to publicly available information about you and your device. So basically, you want to turn this off. And to do that, you just need to come into your settings, and then we're going to scroll down until we get to privacy. Tap on that, and then tap on tracking and make sure that this toggle switch is off. And that way, no apps will be allowed to track you across your device. In Safari, Apple expands on the intelligent tracking prevention by providing a privacy report feature that's designed to prevent websites from tracking your internet usage. And to access the privacy report, you just want to tap into Safari and come up to the URL bar at the top of the page, and on the left-hand side, tap on the double A's. A drop-down menu appears, and at the bottom you'll see privacy reports, and you can see that 9 trackers were already prevented. Tap on that, and here you'll get an idea of, you can take a look at the websites, you can tap on trackers and see, how many trackers there were. And for this to work, cross-tracking needs to be enabled in settings. But it's on by default, so you really shouldn't have to fool around with it. But if you want to check it, all you need to do is swipe out of the Safari app, and now we're going to tap back into settings, and we're going to scroll until we get to Safari. And then tap on Safari, and now scroll until you see Prevent Cross-Site Tracking, and just make sure that toggle switch is turned on. Another new security feature that was introduced in iOS 14 is Approximate Location. There are many apps that require your location for them to properly function. In iOS 14, Apple introduced a new feature that lets your location data be shared in a more secure fashion in a less targeted way. So apps that require location access give you the option of choosing your precise location or an approximate location, making it harder to keep track of where you're going and better protecting your location privacy and security. To check on this, all you need to do is come into Settings. Now we're going to scroll down to Privacy. And now we're going to tap on Location Services. And then here's a list of all of your apps, and you can go through them to check to see if precise location is turned on. Many apps don't need precise location, but maybe the app, the AccuWeather app would need your precise location if you wanted to get accurate weather data. And the Maps app, you would want to have precise location turned on. But many apps, you don't need to have precise location turned on. And so go through your apps, take a look at them, and just see whether or not you feel that they need to be precise location or an approximate location. I'm not sure if you noticed this, but I sure did. It seemed as if every time I opened an app after updating to iOS 14, I received this request. And in this case, it's the Prime Video app, would like to find and connect to devices on your local network. There are some apps that absolutely have a valid reason for accessing devices on your local network, such as Wi-Fi based apps or Bluetooth based apps. But most apps have no business accessing your local network. To revoke this access or to check to see what apps you've given permission to access your local network, all you need to do is come into Settings, scroll to Privacy, and then find Local Network, and you'll see it right below Bluetooth. And here's a list of the apps that I have allowed access to my local network. Go through the apps because you may have already given a bunch of apps access. Go through the apps and see which ones you want to revoke. And, take a look at things like Facebook. Facebook doesn't need to have access to your local network. I've created a PDF download for you, which is my top 5 tips for your iPhone and iPad that impact privacy, security, and battery life. You'll find this download inside the description of the video. So there you have it. These are just a few of the security and privacy features in iOS 14. Apple's commitment to this will probably keep me a lifetime customer. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd love for you to hit the big red subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.